Hi, this is Teacher Jen from camglish.com and welcome again to a new lesson on essential English patterns. Today we will discuss a new pattern, but before we go on our lesson, let's review a bit, okay? What pattern did we discuss the last time? Okay, can you still remember it? Okay, it was the pattern I can't understand why. So understand means to comprehend or to know, okay? And why means this is a question and you want to know the reason. Okay, so this is a negative pattern because of the word can't. So I can't understand why. You don't understand the reason. You can't comprehend the reason. So let's make an example. I can't understand why he is doing that. I can't understand why he is doing that. So that means you don't know why that person is doing that thing or something. Okay? So I think you can remember it now. Let's go on to the lesson we will have today. Okay? And our pattern for today is I can't stand. I can't stand. So, we have the word stand, but it doesn't mean that you are standing, in an upright position. Okay, so we have a different meaning for this. And in this pattern, it means to put up with someone or something unpleasant, or to tolerate, endure, or suffer. Okay, so that means you can't bear, in this pattern, I can't stand, that means you can't bear, okay, doing something. You can't tolerate or endure or suffer doing something, or you can't tolerate someone. You cannot put up with something or someone that is bad for you. Okay, so of course the opposite is I can't stand. So for example, I can stand the bad smell here. I can stand the bad smell here, so it's okay for me to stay. Okay, but this is the opposite because we have the word can't. So that means you cannot tolerate it. You cannot endure it. You cannot do it anymore. So we will do the opposite of the sentence. I can't stand the bad smell. Okay, so now let's have the sample sentences. First one, I can't stand it when you lie to me. I can't stand it when you lie to me. Okay, so that means you cannot tolerate or endure when you lie to me. That means, of course, with the word lie, that means not telling or saying the truth. Okay, of course, people would feel hurt. Okay, people would feel hurt when people they know lie to them. Okay, so I can't stand it. You don't, or you can't tolerate or endure it when someone is lying to you. How about number 2? I can't stand waiting in line. I can't stand waiting in line. When you say waiting in line, most of the time standing for a very long time, waiting for your turn. So you are in a line together with other people and you are waiting for your turn. Okay? So some people can't stand that. Okay, because that is very tiring. Now, how about number 3? I can't stand his rude behavior. I can't stand his rude behavior. So when you say rude, that means bad, and behavior means attitude. So that means this is bad attitude. So who can stand bad attitude or rude behavior? Of course, no one. So you can say, I can't stand his or her rude behavior. How about number 4? I can't stand this tension. I can't stand this tension. When you say tension, that is emotional strain or suspense. That is stress. Okay, so for example, a situation happened and you're not expecting it, so that would be very stressful for you. Okay, you would be emotionally very, very stressed, okay, and very worried, and you don't know what to do. So that's tension. Okay, so you can't stand the tension. You can't tolerate it. Number 5, I can't stand my mother-in-law. can't stand my mother-in-law. So mother-in-law, that's the mother of your spouse, or the mother of your husband or your wife. So women, okay, are very, very common, in saying this kind of sentence. I can't stand my mother-in-law. So because women always live with their mother-in-law, so most of the time the relationship between those two women are not good, or is not good. Okay, so that's why they keep on saying, I can't stand my mother-in-law. Okay, so that means you cannot endure or suffer. Okay, or you cannot be with that person anymore because maybe there's a problem. So now I think it's easier for you to understand our pattern. Now it's our turn to make our own sentences. It's my first turn, okay, to make the sentence. Okay, so for example, I can't stand having mouth sore. I can't stand having mouth sore. Okay, so that means I cannot endure it. I cannot suffer it anymore because it's really painful and I can't endure the pain anymore. So that's why I can't stand it. So now, how about you? What is your sentence? Very good. Okay, so now I want you to review and memorize these sentences. Now let's go on to the dialogues, okay? For dialogue number 1, I will be letter B. And for dialogue number 2, I will be letter A. Let's start with number 1. What are you going to do? I have the same problem with my daughter. Okay, very good. When you say disobedience, that means doesn't want to follow, okay, or stubborn, doesn't want to follow rules. Okay, so now let's go on to number 2. Do you want to go to the coffee house with me? Why? What's the problem? Okay, very good. So terrible means bad. Okay, so they have a bad service. Okay, so now let's go back to the sentences, and now I want you to memorize these sentences, and don't forget to make your sentences as well, okay, your own sentences, and make or use this pattern as much as possible whenever you have the opportunity. Okay, so now I hope you learned something today. This is the end of our lesson. This is Teacher Jen saying goodbye again, and see you on our next class. Goodbye.